What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. You're a returning subscriber as always, guys. Welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, happy Monday to you. I know we're all starting our work week, me included, and so are these videos. But today I want to talk about something that pissed me off yesterday. Now, I seen this video thumbnail on my screen while I was doing a bunch of videos in the lives yesterday. Shout out to everybody who came to the live, but I didn't really get a chance to really look at it till late last night. And when I seen it, it did piss me off. It pissed me off for two reasons that I'll get into, but this story is about an unarmed black man who was a truck driver being pulled over by the state police and the Circleville Police Department, where a dog was sicked on him after he was outside of the vehicle with his hands up in a prone position to where he couldn't do no damage to nobody. But after I watched the video, I seen a few things that I want to point out, and they're sparking outrage with this, people seeing it. But what I'm going to say, a lot of people might not agree with, but this is one of those moments when I talk about in videos where I say, don't let stuff trigger you. And this is a triggering type video. Now, for some people, it may be graphic, but I mean, it's no different than other videos that they show in these police body cam videos. So take a look and you guys be the judge. We'll come back and talk about it. Let's go.
Video of a police officer ordering a dog to attack an unarmed man after he had surrendered to authorities following a high-speed chase in Ohio on the 4th of July. Police have released the body cam video and say an investigation is now underway. And we do want to warn that some viewers may find this difficult to watch. Here's ABC's Alex Prochet.
An Ohio K-9 police officer is under investigation tonight after ordering his dog to attack an unarmed suspect who had already surrendered and had his hands in the air. It happened July 4th. Officers tried pulling 23-year-old truck driver Jadarrius Rose over for a missing mud flap. Police say Rose refused, starting a chase. At one point, Rose veers to the right, forcing a highway patrolman to the shoulder. In another instance, police dashcam video shows Rose pulling over, and as officers order him out of the rig at gunpoint, he takes off again. Roughly 7 minutes later in the video, officers slow the truck down using spike strips. Rose seen here getting out, complying with commands, his hands up. To the left, you can see Circleville K-9 police officer Ryan Speakman crossing the grass with his service dog.
Do not release the dog with his hands up.
This Ohio highway patrolman repeatedly warned Speakman against using the dog as Rose has his hands up. Then Speakman releases the dog and commands it to attack Rose as Rose is on his knees.
Get the dog off of him!
Rose taken into custody and given first aid.
Nobody's trying to hurt you.
Just let the dog bite me.
All you had to do was stop, brother.
I did stop. I don't feel
20
safe.
miles ago.
That Ohio highway patrolman later seen talking to colleagues about his command not to use the K-9.
Was that not loud enough?
You said it 3-4 multiple times.
You can't send a dog without getting into excessive force issues on somebody with their hands up. And maybe they're not complying, but they're not a safety risk to anybody.
Lindsay, tonight we've reached out multiple times to the city of Circleville and its police department. The department saying it has no comment as the incident is currently being investigated by the Use of Force Review Board.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was the video that came out yesterday. Now, this supposedly happened on July 4th. And it happened in Ohio, I guess in the Circleville area where he was stopped because supposedly he was on two different interstates while this pursuit happened. Now, there are two things, in fact, three things I've seen in this video, and I know you guys seen it too. The first thing was this. Now, they showed the guy coming across the thing with the dog, right? But before they showed that, I picked this up the last time I looked at the video. The state police were the ones that had the pursuit. They were following him for the longest time. When he went through Circleville, I guess that's what it's called, Circleville, Ohio, and the police tried to use the spike strips, which finally stopped him. Because remember, he drove for a while, he pulled over, they pulled guns out because they didn't know who was driving the car. He took off again. When he took off this second time, and the second, they slowed him down with spike strips. Remember, while he was being pursued, he swerved the truck like as if he was trying to hit the officer and went back on the highway, right? That plays a pivotal role. He was stopped. When he was stopped, He was stopped in Circleville, I guess, because you seen the police across the street. So what you basically had was him stopped, Circleville police over there, K-9 unit and another squad car, a bunch of state troopers behind him. Both police, one is state, one is county. Two different ways of policing. The state police took the chase immediately and can follow you anywhere. They go into Circleville. They come into the picture. The guy got the dog. He way across the median. Guy got his hands up. All of a sudden, here come this dude coming across there with the dog. Now, normally during police arrest, the dog will be barking and going off. The dog there is just, you know, a scare tactic or to let you know you can't go nowhere because if I let this dog go, it's a threat. Why is he leading with the dog first? Did you hear the state police? Two different philosophies in policing. They understand. Don't let the dog go on the man with his hands up, meaning he's unarmed. He surrendered. Don't let that dog. Multiple times they said he turned up. Because I'm going to tell you something. A lot of times police look up the state troopers. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just a difference in policing and, you know what I mean? A state trooper different. You know, they almost like the feds and then, you know, a regular detective, like you go call the feds in. Sometimes they call the state police in to handle situations. They did that in Camden, New Jersey before, and they had a bad outcome, but they did it. You know, the state boys, they got a prestige with them. So here come this guy across the thing. Don't let that dog go. He lets the dog go. When he let the dog go, did you hear, this is the second part, before he let that dog go, did you hear the one state trooper, hey man, come over here to me, come over here to me. That right there let me know. They were yelling commands from both sides. The guy's just standing there. Did you see him looking? The guy like, hey, come over here to me. Just come over here to us. He was prone. They didn't want to approach him. Right now, I don't know how long he was standing there because the guy with the dog seemed like he was fed up. He was going to make a move because he got the dog with him. They was trying to get him to come. When the guy came across the thing and he went down in that dip and he let the dog go, the dog's so stupid. In fact, the dog ain't stupid. They doing what they going to do. The dog is about to bite the cop. The dog start running this way, don't know who to attack. It's just going to bite somebody. Then the guy, fat ass, he going to go out there, call the dog with a command, and he going to point to the black dude, get him. The dog goes and bites him, right? Now, when the dog goes and bites him, the people are walking up, and they still got their guns out and all this stuff. Now, because they federal, and he sicked the dog on them, and they got to make that arrest. Now, everybody's there can arrest him, but they got to make that arrest because they initiated contact with this dude, right? That's why a lot of people are like, why everybody run over there? It's just weird police stuff they do. They got him, wrestling with him, all this other stuff. They come over and give him first aid. Now, it's messed up that happened, but this happens a lot. And depending on the situation, people let themselves get triggered. Now, I'm going to tell you something. That's wrong on both sides. Circleville officer was way out of line. That was bullshit. You don't lead with the dog. He wasn't running away where it was a distance where you couldn't catch him on foot. He wasn't armed or anything like that. Y'all could have walked up on him. The reason why they kept that distance like that, they didn't know if anybody else was in the truck. That's the only reason why they kept that distance. Because I was like, yo, why you ain't just walk up there on him? You know what I mean? It's just a precaution. Regardless, the shit was bullshit. That was bullshit that would happen. I mean, it is. Let's call it out. You come leading with the dog, bro, you need jail time. You need to be fired, and you need a civil suit pressed on him. But I'm going to tell you something. There's wrong on both sides. Like I said, this dude, it was for a mud flat. Bro, you could have pulled the truck over. Now, I don't know if you were scared you was going to lose your job because you got pulled over by the police department, but it was just a mud flap. If you had stopped, you would have got a ticket or a warning. And that's the thing. A lot of this stuff happens nowadays where people just can't follow a simple goddamn command. You know when police lights is on, that mean pull the fuck over. You know what I'm saying? 23 years old, you out on the road. And then my thing is this. The reason why they let that dog loose on you, they probably was listening to the radio chatter. You some maniac in the truck, and I'm gonna tell you something. The truck is not like a four-wheel automobile where you can stop and start. That's a lot of weight. We don't know if he had a lot of freight behind that in that trailer or not, but that was dangerous. And I don't know if he understood that, but people see traffic accidents and all this other stuff, and they know the dangers and stuff. Even though the person driving the truck didn't know the dangers, it pissed people off. And what really messed the whole thing up, and I think the reason why that dude sicked the dog on him, he was listening to the radio chatter. And when you start making like you gonna make a threat to hurt an officer, and they drove over there to him and made the officer move out the way and all that stuff, that right there immediately changes the game of how they deal with you. I mean, he could have went from just getting snatched out the car and threw on the ground to now a dog biting you. And I'm going to tell you something, you know, failure to listen. Seriously, failure to listen. It's wrong on both sides. They was wrong for putting that damn dog on him. You understand what I'm saying? And he was wrong for doing that. Because remember, life is about cause and effect. Think, if you got pulled over, when they first pulled him over, a mud flap, they're not going to take the car and they're not going to fire you from your job. You didn't put the truck together. You ain't put the mud flap on it. That's a maintenance issue. So you was good. You was good. You know what I'm saying? So why didn't you just stop the fucking truck, bro? And that's the thing. Now, getting back to this guy, right? Once he ran and did all that, and this asshole sicked the dog on him, he felt as though that was his right because our officer was threatened. That's why they let that dog loose on him. Did you see the one lady state trooper like, what the fuck just happened? Like, yo, this is a mess. This is bad. And it is. People in the NAACP out there, one lady said, oh, this remind me of back in the day when they used to sick the dogs on black people. Okay. I understand. I can understand you saying that, seeing a dog bite on them and all this stuff. It's triggering you to go think about that kind of stuff. But I'm going to tell you something. A lot of people that are not your age, that are just coming up, 14, 15, 16 years old, don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. And that's a problem. That's a problem. One of the reasons why a lot of us out here right now, people of color that don't listen, is because we are far removed from the struggles we got to even be here in the first place. And a lot of us don't care. They used to show that shit on every Black History Month. They used to show the struggles, the March in Selma, Martin Luther King getting shot, right on TV, show the shit. People getting bit up by dogs, water hose spraying women, making the dresses fly up and throwing people getting beat up, white and black alike sitting together, getting beat up and shit. People putting pie shit all over, all this kind of stuff, struggle. They stopped it. Part of the reason why they stopped this course, we started complaining, why they show that every month? We don't need a reminder. And look at us now because we don't see where we came from. Think about it. We don't. And I don't mean to want to get on a thing, but I mean, it's lessons in this. Pull the damn truck over, bro. It's a company truck. It ain't yours. My thing is, I don't know if he had something in the truck he didn't want him to see. Maybe he was drinking. I don't know. But it's just weird that he didn't stop. You're driving a commercial truck for a company. Pull over. Hey, I got pulled over. What's going on? I don't know what's going on. You could have been like, what's the procedure? And when they came up, you could have been on the phone like, hey, I'm on the phone with my supervisor now. What's wrong? What's the problem? You think a cop gonna act up and fight you or do something crazy to you with the damn boss of the trucking company on the thing? Either way, man, this is wrong. And I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna show you the BS. They were wrong. Circleville was wrong with what they did. Remember, they said they called them. They not talking about it. Of course, because they in the wrong. But I will tell you this. If he tries to sue or whatever like that, it might be a tough time because he ran and then he drove the truck into, like he was going to drive it into the officer, which you could tell he was, and he was just trying to get the guy to not throw the spike strips out or whatever. But you understand what I'm saying? This is complicated and it's messed up. I see wrong on both sides. What about you? Leave me a comment, man. Tell me if some of the stuff I said made sense. You agree or disagree. But you can't let stuff like this trigger you. Oh, this remind me of back in the day and this and that. They only did that because he was black. Maybe so. They possibly, yeah. They might have. You know, you don't know what goes through one person's head. But I mean, he did do that shit with the fucking thing, and I ain't gonna lie. They're gonna beat your ass when you run from them anyway. So I mean, I guess he knew the risk. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Let's pull over when they put the lights on. Damn, it's going to be what it's going to be. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.